good morning once again, and of course, thank you for hosting us in your beautiful office.
Thank you.
Let me go straight to the point. The budget has been read, and there are some things that a lot of people would like to know. Now, let me move straight to what we call the e-levy. I mean, the road tolls have been cleared, and now we keep hearing e-levy, e-levy. Can you please throw a little light on e-levy to us?
So, in this 2022 budget, government removed or reduced about 5 different taxes and brought in only one tax, which is the e-levy. The e-levy is a digital tax that will cover inward remittances, Momo transactions, and commercial digital transactions. Now, the e-levy, before we introduced it, government did its own research, and we found out that about 40% of Momo users in Ghana do not send more than 100 Ghana cedis a day. We found that group to be very sensitive to the tax, and so we exempted all Momo users in that category, 40%. So if you send any money up to 100 Ghana cedis, this e-levy does not cover you. You are not going to pay anything. Also, when you move money from your Momo account into your bank account, or you move money from your bank account into your Momo wallet, you are not going to pay anything under the e-levy. And then also, the receiver, when you send the Momo, the receiver who is receiving the Momo, is also not going to pay. So it's just the sender. And so let's say that I send 150 Ghana cedis to my grandmother in the village. The first 100 Ghana cedis will be exempted. My grandmother will receive all the 150 Ghana, but I, the sender, will pay 1.75% on the 50 Ghana cedis, not the 150 I send. So this is basically what the e-levy is about. It doesn't cover bank transfers and checks. It doesn't cover Momo to Momo or Momo to bank on your own account, and those kind of transactions. They are all exempted.
Okay, Minister, won't the country miss out or lose more money now that the toll booths have been scrapped?
Yeah, so yes, we found out there were about, let me say, 3 major reasons why we removed the toll booth. First of all, it was inconvenient and unproductive. Many people have to stay in traffic for 30 minutes just to go and pay 1 cedi. Secondly, we found out that it was inequitable. Those who lived in plush areas, Adrigano, Labon, East Legon, all those people didn't have road toll, but those in Kaswa, those in Ashamai, on the motorway, where poor people troop in and out every day, my village in Ejoso, Kubase, and Etiwa, all those places where poor people are. Even when they are going to their farm and they are using their cars, they have to pay. But where we have built asphalt for them in wealthy communities, they were exempted from the road toll. So we thought it was inequitable. Third reason was the amount we were receiving. I mean, the whole year, road tolls in Ghana were given us 78 million Ghana cedis. How many roads can Ghana build with 78 million Ghana cedis? So clearly it was very, very inadequate in terms of revenues that we were getting. We are projecting to receive about 6.9 billion cedis from the e-levy. And even if we commit just 1 billion of that money to road construction in Ghana, we are definitely going to see aggressive road construction in our country. Also, young people want working capital to create their own jobs. So we have announced the U-Start. The e-levy is going to make us possible for us to empower young people in our country to receive working capital and training, and also to get our banks to be able to lend out to young people at an affordable rate without any collateral demands from them. So we believe that when we all support this e-levy, it is indeed going to change a lot of things in our country and bring wealth creation to our country.
Okay, so Honorable, this one is about general conversation on social media.
Okay.
So it's about the people who work at the toll booths and all those people are saying that they are going to be employed because right now the toll booth is not functional. So as a result of that, they are going to be displaced and all. Are there provisions for them in the budget
Yes.
That has been communicated, but people don't have nothing about it.
Okay, so all the workers in all the toll booths in Ghana, about 400 workers, everybody is maintained in terms of their works. Everybody will be paid their salaries. They will continue to be employees of the Ghana Highway Authority. So nobody has lost their jobs. They will be reassigned though by their employers. Nobody has lost their jobs. And then also the big trucks that come from other countries into Ghana, we have not exempted them. They will still go through the weighing scales, and all the fees and charges we need to take from them will be taken at the weighing scales. And then I think those people who were hurt by this decision were the market women who sell at the toll booths. For them, it was very unfortunate. But you see, their security too was a problem. Cars were running over some of them. There were accidents and death. And we think that they can always find an alternative of a nearby market to sell their wares. And we believe that there will still be good opportunities, with or without the road tolls, for them to do their business. It was rather unfortunate they didn't have enough notice for them to relocate. But they should bear with government. That we wish them well. Their security is of utmost concern to us, and we believe their businesses will continue.
Okay, Honorable. Last question. Looking at our debt to GDP ratio, it's around 80%. Do you think HIPIC is a possibility? Because recently it was communicated that we have entered HIPIC, and people run by that narrative. Looking at the debt to GDP ratio, do you think HIPIC is a possibility?
Not at all. In fact, our current debt to GDP ratio is 77.5%.
Okay.
The last 2 years has been a unique year for every country in the world. There is no single country in the world today who have not added on to their debt in alarming proportions in the last 2 years. No country. In fact, the US, they created extra deficit of $1.9 trillion, okay, just to shore up the economy. They have just recently done $1.2 trillion for infrastructure and road construction to shore up the economy. Every country is adding on. The US now is about 115% of their GDP. Japan is 234% of their GDP. Ghana is 77.5. But I know people will say, but we are in Africa, we should be comparing with African countries. The Francophone countries, they usually have lower debt to GDP. They used to have 35% before COVID. Now they are at 65%. Ghana was at 61 in 2019 until COVID came and we jumped to 76, 2021 and 2020 and 77.5. The assurance we want to give to Ghanaians is that we are gradually reducing our debt burden, reducing our fiscal deficit. And if you check in 2022 budget that we have presented, government is rolling back the debt. For the first time after the crisis in 2022, government is posting a positive primary balance. What that means is that we are reducing the cumulative debt accumulation in the country. We are bringing down our debt. We are not going to go HIPIC. We are going to work hard to raise revenues in our country, reduce our expenditures, and ensure efficiency in government spending so that we don't go to HIPIC. Ghana won't go to HIPIC. Ghana won't go to IMF. We will make sure that we run this country properly.
Okay, so last, I want you to highlight just 3 things that are in this budget for the youth.
Okay, for the youth.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So 3 major things that are in this budget for the youth. Number 1 is the opportunity to become entrepreneurs. And so government has announced 10 billion Ghana cedis in the next 3 years for young people to access financing to become successful entrepreneurs in our country. Number 2, job creation. Young people who are looking for jobs now have opportunities to create their own jobs and create some for others by promoting innovation and creativity amongst young people. So we can assure young people that they can now find jobs. Okay. The third assurance that I want to give to young people that this budget has assured them is access to long-term financing, patient capital. Okay, so if you have an idea and you want to scale it up, you can now walk to any of these participating banks, and then you'll be able to take a loan without providing a collateral, and then also getting a very concessionary rate of not more than 10% under the U-Start program. So the U-Start offers a lot of good economic opportunities for young people in our country.
I have 3 questions. The first one, does the e-levy affect bank transactions? I don't withdraw money from
No, e-levy does not affect bank transfers and bank transactions.
Withdraw out of the bank.
No. And checks and those things, no, doesn't affect bank checks.
Question number 2. Whenever you're buying something, you pay a lot of tax.
Yeah.
So why they need to tax more?
Well, I've heard a lot of people make that argument. Momo transaction is also a transaction on its own. And it's like somebody said during taking his salary, he paid income tax on it. So when he's going to buy fuel at the filling station, why should he pay fuel that also has a tax on it? So that is, for me, is not double taxation. Momo itself is a transaction on its own. And once you are transacting on it, it is normal for government to take a levy on it.
Okay. Last question. When the minister was reading the budget, I think he said everything takes effect from 1st January 2022.
Yes.
But the toll booth issue came right after
yes.
He finished reading the budget. And then last week, the speaker said it should go back to how it used to be, where they'll be there taking tolls. But as of now, as I was coming, I didn't do anything. So where are we? Are they going back to 1st January 2022, or it is from now to forever?
Well, the speaker doesn't have the power in the law to say what he said. Speaker does not instruct ministers in this country. What his instruction he gave was ultra varies to the Constitution of Ghana. The minister acted within the powers of the law. The minister's power to withdraw toll booths in Ghana is not subject to approval or disapproval of 2022 budget. There's a prevailing law, an existing law, and that law is the Ghana Road Tolls Act. Okay, the Road Tolls Act, Section 1, when you read it, gives authority to the road minister to cite road tolls in Ghana. And if you read the 1992 Constitution, Article 97, Clause D, it says that any act that gives authority to any person to do something, it should be read to construe that that same person has the authority to revoke or change that decision. And since the Road Tolls Act gives authority to the road minister, it is within his authority to say that he has reversed it or suspended it, but he cannot repeal the act. If he wants to repeal the Road Toll Act, then he has to go to Parliament. If he was waiting for parliamentary approval, that is when he could say that he erred. But there's an existing prevailing law that empowers him to do what he did. So he acted within the law. There's nothing wrong with what the road minister has done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.